Northeast Nigeria continues to set the pace in provision of welfare for its citizens. In continuation of this, Governor Babagana Zulum supervised the distribution of 225 million naira and food items to more than 70,000 vulnerable families in Bama local government area of the state. Professor Zulum, who spent 2 nights in Bama coordinating the humanitarian activities, gave out 5,000 naira cash and 1 wrapper each to more than 45,000 female residents and delivered food items to about 25,000 male heads of households. Well, each male beneficiary received 1 bag of rice and 1 bag of maize. Meanwhile, the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, urged the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to tell President Bola Tinubu that Nigerians are suffering due to the economic hardship in the country. The Emir also described as suspicious the relocation of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, and some departments of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, from Abuja to Lagos. Let's share the story by TVC News Ibrahim Isa with you.
First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, touched down at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport and was welcomed by a cheering crowd. She was received by Governor Abba Yusuf and his wife in company of other state governors' wives. The wife of the president was in Kano State to inaugurate the School of Law building named after her at the Mariam Abacha American University of Nigeria.
To the glory of God Almighty, I hereby commission this building for the benefit of all children.
Shortly after the inauguration, she called on Nigerians to be patient and support the government of President Bola Tinubu to achieve the desired goals of developing the nation.
It's just like a woman in labor who is about to birth. These are hard, but when I saw all those children lined up the street, I see that removal of fuel subsidy is for their future. We can come and do government as usual, business as usual, but I would tell you that certain things happen that would change the trajectory of your thinking. I want to work for you, and I believe that Mr. President has the same drive and zeal to want to turn this nation around. I want you all to bear with us. Kano, with the help of His Excellency, the Governor, I want to thank you, sir, and the First Lady. I was quite humbled by the reception Kano did to receive us.
Governors of Kano and Benue states, Abba Yusuf and Hyacinth Alia, appreciate the First Lady for finding time to visit Kano State.
To the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I must say that I am touched by her humility, by her concern for the welfare of the common man. I followed her to see what she was going to do so that I can take it and transform Benue State with the great gesture of her presence and activity.
The wife of the president pledged an endowment fund of 50 million naira for the best graduating female student at the university. Ibrahim Isa, TVC News, Kano.
Well, now, BKO, you've seen the level of humanitarian support the governor is providing for the people of Borno State. But first off, how effective are these welfare provisions now for populations that are vulnerable to the insurgency right now in Borno State? And how sustainable is this?
Well, it's sustainable there's a ministry that takes care of that. It's just like asking me how sustainable the provision of palliative grains in Yobe State has been. I was there, I saw things for myself. You don't have to tell me a story or give me a video. My own brand of journalism, I go right there to the scene so that I can determine whether it's propaganda or it's the truth. So some governors, you see, maybe because of Zulum's background, Governor Zulum had to become a kabu-kabu driver to pay his way through school. And he went to the prestigious University of Ibadan, graduated there. After driving kabu-kabu from the money that he made, he sponsored himself through school. And he has not forgotten his humble background. And he knows that there are many people like him who have not had the opportunity to make it in life. So you can see his people-centered approach to governance is second to none. It's not, there's no debate about that. In our country today, he went to sleep in Bama 2 nights. Zulum will not simply give you rice, go and share to people. He will supervise it. And then he gives cash. Others may be giving rice and not giving people cash. He knows that those people don't have money. He sets aside money. And by himself, those envelopes, will put it in people's hands, one after another. Puts it in their hands. Heads of families, 45,000 of them. 45,000 bag of rice. I challenge the governors of the Southwest now. How many of them have you seen giving palliative grains to people? How many? And then come on now, when we challenge them, they say, no, we gave rice. Oh, you are not aware. Oh, were you distributing your own rice at 2 a.m.? How come we can't report yours, but we can report Yobe, we can report Borno? Look at the governor. This is the thing. See crowd. Look at the crowd. They will line up. Zulum will ensure, even clothes, wrappers. He will give. He went to an IDP camp in Niger Republic to give them clothes, to give them money. There was a stampede, some people died. Because since 2014, when they ran to that place to hide, no one had gone there to see them, let alone provide some of their needs. You know, Bama is a very big commercial center in Borno State. But unfortunately, because of insecurity, outside of Bama, 1 or 2 towns, Boko Haram will not let our people move around freely. So those people who have lost their means of livelihood, because insurgency has taken people's means of livelihood away, these are people who like to farm. They are not lazy people. But you cannot go and farm for fear of being killed. In Monguno local government, for example, if you step out of Monguno town, because Monguno town is the only town where people are living in that local government, the governor's hometown, Zulum, his original hometown, no one has lived there since 2014. If you step out of Monguno town, do like maybe 3 kilometers out of Borno town, Monguno, you are likely to die. But the governor will go to those IDP camps. He will go to those communities where at least people can live with enjoying relative peace, where their security will go there and give them those palliative items. That is what we are telling these people to give. We are not saying, oh, make it permanent. Oh, we are not saying palliative is another means of running an economy. No one is saying that. And if people are saying, oh, you cannot run an economy based on palliative, no one is telling you that they want to run an economy based on palliative. We are saying show empathy. You go to church, you go to mosque, you pretend that you have empathy, but you don't have it. This is an opportunity to show empathy, and this man, at every turn, shows it. Let's see other governors do this, because they got 2 billion each from the president. Let's see lawmakers who are given money by the president in December. Let's also see them do this. A lot of them pocketed the money. That's the point that we are making.
It has entered voicemail.
They pocketed the money. Now everybody is blaming one man. I'm not saying he does not deserve to be blamed. After all, he's the one who removed subsidy. People will blame him. But the point is, even what he did to help alleviate these pains, people are refusing governors because they have immunity. Some have not even shared a single grain of rice. And they got money. There are people, unfortunately for us in this country, people are not even challenging their governor. Say, but this one, Zulum, is a governor. Is he not a governor like them? Were they not sworn in the same way?
I think Borno State is just a...
Our people are not even challenging their governors.
It's just an example of a place where you have people who are very... who have feelings for their people.
Right.
The same thing during Shetima's time, you remember. He did almost the same thing. So Governor Zulum has taken an example from him.
And he's taking it a notch higher.
A notch higher. But what we have in this situation is that, as we always ask, is it that there are more problems in the other governors' states than they have in Borno? But it's not the same. It's not so.
Whatever problem,
what I'm even saying is that Borno has more problem than those states.
Yes, security problems,
Borno is acting more, helping people more than the other states are doing. And then the question we keep asking is, why is it that these people are not doing what this man is doing? Because anytime you see federal allocation now, you see states, local government, federal, they have more than they've ever had before. So what are they doing with this? What is it that they want to do?
You know what we want? During Okonjo last time, we used to publish what states.
Exactly.
I learned that some state governors protested.
No, I think that
we must find a way to bring it down. We must find a way to bring it back. Even as journalists, maybe we can work with budget and other...
Yeah, because these blankets...
So that we can show the world what these governors are collecting.
Exactly, what each state is getting.
We have to do this for our people.
Yeah.
We have to find a way to get what they are collecting.
People get money and you don't hear what they do with it.
The next day they've traveled abroad, they've traveled... Now alone, supposed to enjoy life.
So indeed, there need to be serious checks in the system so that we can have...
I was saying that Nigerians are hungry.
Yeah. That the First Lady should intervene, the President.
It's a fact. Do you think the President doesn't know? He doesn't even need to send Senator Lorem Tinubu to the President. The President knows. It just happens that some of the steps being taken, we are not seeing the results yet.
Yeah.
Our wish and our prayer is that those results will begin to show later. I've listened to people like Bismarck Rewane, the economist, saying that, look, in the year 2024, we'll begin to see changes. We've seen reforms implemented in other places. Reforms are usually painful. Reforms are usually painful. But reforms are not altogether bad. Because we expect that, okay, the dividends will come with time. It may be slow. But if it is a necessary step that you have to take, a government has to take those steps. They may be painful, but a government has to take it. Somebody sent me a message that, please tell Tinubu to return subsidy. Even if Tinubu stands in my front today, I will not tell him to return subsidy, because I know it makes no sense. All of the people who campaigned for presidency, they all said they would remove it.
So, but we understand it's a necessary, it's a needed thing to happen, but what can be done to cushion, because people are really, feeling the pangs
That is what
of this
we will
removal.
encourage the government. I will implore President Tinubu to take further steps to cushion the effect. Part of it was this, the release of grains from the strategic grains reserve. They must do their best to monitor distribution and ensure this gets to people. People like Governor May Malabuni, people like Governor Zulum, they feel for their people. They can't watch their people suffer. But that's not how many of the governors are feeling. These same governors that can't pay minimum wage of ordinary 30,000. What if you took money from the federal government, 2 billion, to buy those palliative grains? Where are they? Our people need to ask questions. You can't just one trick pony. Just direct your blame to an individual. It takes more than one person to run a country. That's the point I'm making. You can't. You governors got money, and people didn't see this, and you still demand in Aso Rock that you blame. Yes, blame him for certain things, but reserve some of the blame for your own direct leaders who got money and didn't share this to people. Direct some of the blame to your federal lawmakers because they also got money in December, and a good number of them refused outright to share even one grain of rice to people. So that is the point. You talk about how can we ease the pain. How can we ease the pain when people were given money to buy grains and distribute to people?
Decided not to do it.
Some of the federal lawmakers converted the money to buy motorcycles, to buy hair dryer, to buy other things. That was not what they said you should buy. What kind of people are you? That was not what you were told to buy with it. I mean, so this is the thing. When we talk about government, politicians must realize it. Let them get this into their consciousness. If for any reason, out of our carelessness, we allow this republic to go down,
Right.
it's not going to be one person's blame.
No.
So everyone must jump in and see how they can save the situation.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We were already borrowing money to pay subsidy. So I cannot in good conscience say, let us continue to pay subsidy. We were borrowing money.
Right. Let's quickly move on. Let's away from this issue now, because also still in this package that we also saw, we saw the Emir of Kano talking about the suspicion about the relocation of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria and some departments of the Central Bank of Nigeria from Abuja to Lagos. Now, what do you make of that suspicion, and how do you think the government can be more transparent or communicate its decisions to the people of those concerned, so it doesn't look like one person is left out or one person is being favored?
You know,
and the
no
other?
matter what you say, some people have taken a position. The Central Bank Governor has explained, the Minister of Aviation has explained. And all this, the way I see it is this. In other countries, in other climes, because the capital is in Abuja or in Washington, D.C., does not mean every system must be there. For example, in the United States of America, the Center for Disease Control is in Atlanta. It's not in Washington. Their air control, whatever, is not in Washington. So everything, you take a look at what is the best way and what is the best option for this. And that is what is being done. So the president does not need to explain.
Oh, that's not.
It is the business of the ministers, and they have explained.
And they've explained.
And they've told us what it is. But my own in all this is that the president should not allow such minor issues to distract him. Because, in all honesty, all eyes are on the president, and the president must have his eyes on history. Through the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, those who are blaming the PDP for causing the problem, they've changed today. They've started blaming Buhari because they couldn't blame PDP again. they've started blaming Buhari that Buhari was not taking the right decision. When President Tinubu finishes his term, the same people will come and blame him. So the president must have his eyes
on the ball.
Right.
Exactly. Must have his eyes on the ball that, look, no matter whose us is God, this is his time to make history. That, look, the decisions I'm taking it for the best benefit of the country.
Yes.
So that those who yesterday were blaming PDP are today blaming Buhari will not come and blame him too.
You know, let's even look at this thing.
Exactly.
I don't know what the emir finds suspicious. There's nothing suspicious.
I mean,
in any case, Abuja does not belong to any part of Nigeria. It is our federal capital.
Exactly.
And I've said it before, northern leaders, I am a northerner. No northern leader can say it's more northern than me. I will not agree. Because I was born there.
The same with
from
me.
The same area.
Although,
I'm from Kogi State. Kogi State is part of the north.
It's kind of, yes.
Well located in the north. You are not more northern than me. If you say that, I will argue with you. You know, I was born in Zaria, Usasa General Hospital. That was where they gave back to me, in Zaria. So don't tell me that you are more northern. The north does not own Abuja.
At all.
Nigeria owns Abuja.
Abuja.
These were the sort of needless argument that got people like Awolowo to think that, oh, the north had ulterior motives. But many Southerners supported the idea. Today we have Abuja.
Exactly.
Today we have Abuja.
Who are the people who championed the...
Sanusi is a northerner. He had even become an emir like this emir.
Exactly.
Was emir of Kano before him. Sanusi never said this thing was suspicious. In fact, he said something that some of the people complaining is because their children are working in Central Park. You know, these big people, they don't allow their children to follow the right process. They use their big manism to put their children
put them there.
Now, if you want to transfer people, they can't be happy.
Exactly.
Let me give an example. There is a department of the CBN that monitors what's going on in the stock market.
And it's in Abuja.
There is no stock market elsewhere except Lagos. So if you put the department that monitors them, if you must put it in Abuja, what would they be monitoring?
So in a nutshell,
now,
give it...
if you are saying that, okay, then there is the Department of Banking Supervision.
Right.
The
majority of the
headquarters
banks are in Lagos.
99.9% are here in Lagos. You want them to be monitoring them from Lagos. No wonder banks can keep $5 billion in cash.
Exactly.
In their vaults.
Exactly.
You are just discovering. So these things, we don't need this needless argument.
No need for any argument.
The Minister of Aviation already explained that they were spending hundreds of millions of dollars on flights alone. That was when flights were cheaper.
Exactly. Hotel accommodation.
And everything.
What do they call that one?
We are saying that we are wasteful.
Out of station allowance and
we are saying that we are very wasteful in this country and that this government must not continue. Now you want us to continue that wastefulness. Just to relocate just an agency.
And
if they
not even the whole of the central bank.
If they now relocated defense ministry to Lagos, what will happen? We'll start killing ourselves.
Well, we will not get to that point.
Needless argument.
Well, let's leave that discussion for now because it can be really.
We will not go leave them.
Well, that's where we have to end.